Welcome to my video on cantering a young horse under saddle for the first time. I'm going to show you a little bit of lunging with this horse. He is a 4-year-old and has taken a bit to mature, both physically and mentally. Super glad that I waited to kind of really start pushing him. So when I lunge, I do not lunge the horse to get them tired. I lunge the horse to improve gait quality, balance. I need my horses to stay out to contact softly and work towards bend, work towards working them up and down the arena, and just overall getting these horses so that when I swing a leg up on them, I've already put them through everything that I am going to ask a young horse to do under saddle to start. So as you see here, I do a lot of transitions. I do a lot of putting pressure on them as far as lunging them with side reins. This horse has been ground driven quite a bit. He has been through the jump chute several times. So he's had kind of all the go-arounds that all my horses go through here. He's been out on a couple trail walks, we'll call it. He's been hauled several places. So overall, he is ready to move on to his career as a show horse. Definitely have taken my time and always take my time with these young, especially these young warm bloods. And so as you can see here, he's very balanced at his all three gaits. So when I actually canter him under saddle, it's really not that big of a deal to him. I decided to do this video in a 2-day progression so you guys could see kind of him going the first time, striking off in a canter while under saddle. So you see here, I am a big advocate of don't ride your young horse like it's a young horse. So he goes nicely out to contact. These young horses are super innocent when you start riding them under saddle. They don't know things like they aren't supposed to follow your shoulders. They don't know things like fighting against your biomechanics of your body. So as you can see, this was the first canter transition. And I just don't react to him kind of humping up a little bit and kicking. You notice my hands are up a little higher. That's just so that in case he wants to kind of buck, that is kind of his tendency and has been his tendency since I started working with him. So I just want to be ready. I keep my shoulders back. I am pretty loud with my legs on these colts. They need to get used to it. They need to kind of get used to my leg moving around and a good following hand. So as you see, I used my lunging also to get these horses so that they move off of my voice. So I just kind of cruised around on him for a bit after that first 2 or 3 strides of canter, just to get him back kind of get his mind back, get him a little softer in my hand. And then I'll ask him again. The second time was much nicer, believe it or not. And then again, I don't react. He still felt pretty good in my hand. So I thought I would just canter just a little bit. And that, my friend, is all I do with my youngsters. I just get them cantering one direction for 3 or 4 strides, tell them they're amazing, and then go on with the next day. So next day under saddle, the cool thing that this horse demonstrates is how relaxed he is under saddle. And that he has a understanding, a start to an understanding of bend. He does struggle here with his right side, and I think it has a bit to do. He has a pretty good wire cut on that right hind. I think that he favored it long enough that he is just, I call it a little sticky to right bend. So we had there a little bit of a misunderstanding, and then we just go back to work like nothing happened. I'll play around with these guys. I post a little faster, post a little slower. So I get change of gear within every gait, and really focus on me staying as quiet as I can stay while I'm up on these guys, to be as fair as I can to them. I think that's one of the biggest secrets to starting young horses, is to be as fair of a rider as you can be to them. So you see, we do a lot of just cruising around. He loves to trot, so it's easy to get him to kind of cruise around at the trot. There were a few rides that I put on him before this video of just him. I just walk him around the arena for quite a while to get steering, to make sure I have brakes. He is delightful. He stops off your seat. He goes off your seat. So again, that innocence that these young horses have, because they just don't know that you're supposed to, that people might pull on the reins. I can't tell you what happened there. It was hilarious. The drama was from him. I just sat my shoulders back and didn't react. Again, you got to remember to just let it go, not react. So then the next time I go by that spot, and I don't know if he kicked sand up on the panel, I can't tell you what he did, but the second time I went by the spot, it wasn't that big of a deal. Today, and this ride, I did put more pressure on the bit. I did ride him a little bit more, thinking of riding him kind of from behind. He's a very powerful horse and understands how to use himself. So he was ready for me to put just more pressure. He's going to be a dressage horse, so he needs to learn how to handle the pressure to the contact. So you saw my first canter transition, and then I just, again, kind of played around with him to get him so that he was lighter in my hand. And it was an amazing canter transition. And again, because I've done all the groundwork with him, he just canters super balanced, which keeps him very relaxed. And so cantering under saddle and packing a human isn't a big deal. It just shouldn't be a big deal to these horses. And again, I got him to come out of the canter because when I long lined them at the canter, I stopped moving my outside rein, and they just understand that means to come out of the canter. So I just touched my outside elbow to my side, and he broke out of the canter. Everything that you do on the ground with these young horses will translate to under saddle. So this young horse has learned about bend, he has learned about balance, and he's learned about contact. So nothing that I was throwing at him under saddle was new to him. And because he's so used to me, I think he might not agree with this, but I think he finally is enjoying packing his little human around. So I set him up for canter this direction. This would be the first time that I canter to the right, and I chose to canter to the left because he's softer on that left rein. This right rein, as you can see, he gets a little fragile. And I just, again, sit my shoulders back, keep my hands as quiet as I can, and try not to react to whatever shenanigans they might throw at me. So our first canter transition to the right was pretty similar to my first canter transition to the left. So I'm just going to kind of mess with him. And all I wanted him to do here was just to give me a nice canter transition. So I kind of opened the trot up, and then that's it. That's all I needed. I'm going to stop my outside elbow. He's going to trot. I'm going to tell him he's amazing.